All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode with Marvelous Packs. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. And this time we're going to talk about VV collectibles and VV comics that have been hinting all along at Marvel MCU spec. I think that we're some of the lucky people that are on this app, whether they invest heavily or not, or if it's just a small percentage of their portfolio. Um, Either way, this is a tool to me, and to me, Vivi, it really helps you kind of understand where they're going. But also, the IPs are giving us the IP in general. The fact that we have DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, such strong IP in the app hints at us at products that the general public doesn't know. These properties give us a lot of insight into characters that are coming out in the app that may not have already been, like speculated on heavily in the comic community or in the collectible community in Disney or in Star Wars. So, without further ado, I want to kind of just go over some of the ones I'm excited about. Obviously, with Thor, these are kind of in order by drop. This was the most recent Marvel drop, with it being the Marvel Mighties. You got Beta Ray Bill, who has been speculated a lot, and his first appearance comic has been in the app for a long time. To me, he is going to be probably hinted at maybe toward the end of the film. I don't know. It's speculation. Obviously, none of us have seen it yet. But I do think that since we got Throg in Loki season one, it kind of opens it up. You even saw Thanos' helicopter and all these little Easter eggs. And I think these little drops mean a lot more than what we should take them as a little more than what they are. And I mean, obviously, for a first appearance and it being in this Mighty, at this point with Doctor Doom also being on a Mighty, you gotta think they're gonna do something with all these Mighty sets, gamification wise, or down the line in augmented reality. Who knows? But it's really fun to speculate. But I think Marvel likes to do releases for right before the movies come out, but also they like giving us hints and little nuggets of other things. If we look more toward the Star Wars side and with Buzz Lightyear, that all seems to fit the case. I mean, we got Darth Vader in art, but also we got Darth Vader drop. Hold on, a little bit further here, right before he made his big appearance in Obi-Wan. It was a pretty huge drop. I'm so glad I got an ultra rare. I think Darth Vader is now hitting on every generation. His collectible, these movie posters are legendary art. Like these are highly collectible too, and now people can have a piece of this in digital form, which is going to take on a whole other frame down the line. If we continue, you look at all these Deadpools. Why Deadpools? Yes, they're mighties, but we're getting Deadpool 3. And I think Deadpool 3 is going to open up the door and opportunity to more X-Men or to more characters that like are a little bit outside of the ballpark. And I'll get back to why, like this one may be kind of gimmicky, but the more and more you're going to see Deadpool coming is going to be as the film comes closer to, being teased and in trailers and whatnot. Thor. Thor drop. If they can fix his eyes, they can fix certain things about these different collectibles, like they did with the Pride drop. They can fix Elektra, they can fix Thor, they can fix Storm, they can fix all these other characters in Marvel, and they're definitely going to have their time period to shine. I mean, for sure. And let's just go to the comics now. I want to fast forward a bit. I think we already know some of the people know what's already in the app in terms of the collectibles. With Marvel, you have Sue Storm, who was introduced way earlier in the app. So with Sue Storm, here, hold on, I want to show the store. With Sue Storm, she's Invisible Woman in Fantastic Four, and she's going to be coming out in her whole team. I mean, they gave her out into the app like in season one or season two, a long time ago, right when Marvel came out. You were getting Spider-Man, and not too much later after that, you got Invisible Woman, who's gonna be huge. I mean, To me, it's hinted at because we already got it in the new Strange film, with one of the Fantastic Four being in the Illuminati, one of the X-Men in the Illuminati. You just have so much speckable stuff going on. Now with these comics, let's see, what do I want to look at here? Oh yeah, let's look at some of these comics that don't get a lot of love in the app. Like this Spider-Man set. This one didn't do that well, and as the market started going down and down, it continued to go worse. But to me, it's like some of these rare covers, like for Craven, it's no brainer. I mean, like yeah, it's not a first appearance of him, but to me, these are the hints we're getting. It doesn't mean you have to pick these up. It means just work with the hints that Vivi's giving us. Craven's coming to the MCU. We're gonna get Black Suit Spidey, like this Black Suit Spidey logo, this Black Suit Spidey logo. I mean, you have these poses, and then you're even getting Spider-Man and Todd McFarlane art. We're gonna be getting Spider-Man, but we're also gonna be getting Daredevil. I mean, we saw him hinted in not just that Disney is taking up Netflix and taking up his show, and they're keeping the same Daredevil, but yeah, I mean, if you're getting Elektra, you know you're gonna get a Daredevil collectible, and you know you're gonna be getting Daredevil in the MCU. That's gonna be a big storyline. We already see there's Kingpin. We already see other big characters. Um, let's look at some more comics like this one right here. Why would they give us this X-Men? It doesn't have a lot of value. I found it in a dollar bin at the comics store in San Diego not that long ago. So like, why would they give us this one? Well, Storm is on the cover, and they've given us a Storm collectible, and they've given us several other Storm covers with X-Men. Uncanny 129, Uncanny 170. There's a lot of Storm hidden signs of her coming out, and with her now being announced in Wakanda, to me she's going to be a big character in the MCU going forward. I'm so excited about that. And the same thing with Bishop. Bishop and the X-Men are all long-term plays, but even better than that, Ghost Rider. Whew, Norman Reedus is rumored, and the rumors are strong on that. And to me, it's like, I know he would. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Ghost Rider? Like, that role suits him so well. The Walking Dead actor being taking on the Ghost Rider mantle. Yeah, we want to see him as Johnny Blaze. So that would be really cool. Like, really cool. Mystique right here. You got a lot of X-Men that keep getting put into the app. A lot of them. You know what I mean? You got Jubilee was one of the more recent ones that come to mind with her first appearance. You have Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost first appearance. You have Storm on different covers. You have a lot of X-Men getting rumored on here. You got a lot of Deadpool too, first appearance of him, and then you have this cover, and you have the collectibles. So you know he's going to be bringing in a lot of different characters when he gets brought in the MCU for Deadpool 3. And they're keeping that rated R touch to him, which I appreciate as an adult. You know, I think X-23 could even be introduced in Deadpool 3. He may not get Wolverine, he may not get Logan, but he might get Laura from X-23, and it goes perfectly well to have a young Avengers squad. I'm very hyped on Ironheart, Miss Marvel. You know, like you have Kate Bishop. You have so many young actresses coming in. MCU is gonna look good. The Morbius comic came in, and Moon Knight came in right before the hype. So some of them come right before, but some are giving us with these little hints, and the books may not seem that big, but maybe they're bigger later. That's how the comic book collecting world is. You hodl and you hold on to some of your classics because you never know which one's going to become a key, and you never know who they're going to bring in the MCU. They could bring in this character, a character like Puma, and you have another black suit Spidey on the Marvel logo. I find that interesting. I mean, I could be reading too much into this, but I always think the spec that they give us, we could always use as a tool. Not necessarily to invest in those books, maybe for some of them, which are already worth real world money, but I think to grab some, to collect is one thing, but as a tool and as a hint to let you know kind of what's coming in the MCU, to kind of prepare your physical collection and your digital collection, because then you kind of can prepare your gems or the money you want to invest into comics for drops for the big Grail comics, you're like, we're getting a big Thor comic. I know the one tomorrow is low edition, but it's not a very valuable comic for a Thor book. You saw that in the main store screen. I think, when they do Journey into Mystery 83, first appearance of Thor, and to me, it's when, it's not if. And it's just about preparing yourself for those kind of drops and strategizing to play the market, stack commons. Because look at Strange Tales 110. I mean, if we look at how that's performing in the market, every edition has done well post drop and has never gone below retail. Certain comics are going to keep going up and up. And to me, that's why Vengeance is a no-brainer. First America Chavez appearance. I was just talking about the young ladies of Marvel that they're taking over. You have Scarlet Witch, who's a dominant villain. She's going to have her own film. I know it. I know she's going to get her own film. Like Vivi wouldn't release her first appearance, Uncanny X-Men 4, as one of the first comics without that. Cable, first appearance of Cable right here. That's another one. We've seen Cable in Deadpool. What's to stop them from bringing him back? Thanos is gone, and he can play. He's a great actor who did a good job playing Cable, and they can put a different spin on him. Make him look a little more comic book accurate with his outfit, at least. Todd McFarlane's classic looking cover. I mean, this storyline on this with the Lizard is just awesome, but you get a lot of appearances of different people like Calypso and Kraven. And to me, that Kraven thing falls with the other Spider-Man set we got that had a lot of Kraven in there. And yes, I feel like Kraven is a great character to spec on. Blade, Ghost Rider, who else? There's a bunch more. I mean, you can find from just these books that we've gotten, just from the drops we've gotten, you can find a lot. Like with Jubilee and the X-Men, we know we're going to get the X-Men. It's just the waiting game because we just seen Professor X. We've seen hints that we're going to get Storm in Wakanda, and which is going to be I think the next MCU film to release. So, yeah, that kind of just goes along with that whole theme of them giving us little bits, little nuggets here and there. And if I scroll all the way down, let it populate, and we look at some of the original comics, you can really these are some of the first comics that dropped on Vivi. So we'd have to go further back, but Fantastic Four #5, right now, I think if you don't have it, grab some, because Doctor Doom, Howard Stern talked about it like he was even gonna be Doctor Doom, but just to hear him talking about it and saying that they're working on it is just exciting as can be. And I wouldn't mind him being it, even though I'm sure other people might have their thoughts, but I don't. Yeah, I thought that would be cool. That'd be a cool selection if it was him, but I think no way in hell it would be him. But in any case, maybe the Beyonder. If you guys know who the Beyonder is. But with Hawkeye in Iron Man, this book went for over 1 million, first appearance of Hawkeye. And now these books already are cemented as grails, like these two. And you have the first appearance of Green Goblin here. Really big, really valuable book in the real world. I think some of them, they don't get as much love as they should. But there were a lot of other books that came before, like this Beta Ray Bill, or the first appearance of Zombies, and right here in Ultimate Fantastic Four, that were hinting at a lot of things like that we got with Doctor Strange and with the animated show, The What If, where we're seeing now Sharon Carter. A lot of these what if things that happen in the animated show hinted at, stuff that's going on in the multiverse. Really cool, really exciting. Daredevil, again, this is a big one. This is a huge one. There's so many big books in this app, but there's still so many more to come. So if you missed out and couldn't get some of these, don't even stress. There's going to be so many more opportunities. I mean, we still have Grail, big time Grail books. They haven't even bought DC Comics in. I mean, if we're already getting Edgar Allan Burroughs' Tarzan, which isn't, a Marvel book, I mean, what's to stop Vivi from dominating and getting DC. I mean, DC has no problem sharing their IP with other NFT companies, but I think it'd be a no brainer to do comics where comics have been so successful, and they're going to continue to be successful because I think the promotions coming are going to bring Amazing Fantasy 15, are going to bring DC Comics, are going to bring even bigger grails out there that we still haven't even looked at yet or thought about yet, because Marvel has just kicked off, phases and phases and phases of content to go. And to know that we're early with this and that we're getting a head start and we can use this tool to help us in our own collecting and speculating with Marvel and however we collect it or passionate about it is really fun. I mean, like, who's to say we don't get the Scarlet Spider in in the upcoming Spider-Man, Like, who's to say we don't get others that are coming in? Like, I mean, with Hitmonkey and all these other fun gimmicky comics, like, well, it turns out they had a show on Hulu, and it turns out, like, there's a lot of different stuff coming. Darkhawk could be a huge character in the MCU. His comic, there's millions of those comics. I mean, this comic is more rare on VV than it is in the real world. Uncanny X-Men 129. I mean, you have Storm right here. You have Colossus. You have Wolverine. Great looking classic cover. Great first appearances with with basically Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, Hellfire Club. These are ranked like as Bs and are really, really cheap right now. And to me, it's like easy to get when you're thinking, well, how many more people are going to want to come in and want these books to match up with their real ones? Also, are going to want to collect and basically be able to read them without damaging the book. It's just a lot of fun to be able to get back into your childhood and hit that nostalgia button and press rewind. So excited about the future of Marvel here on VV. I'm rambling at this point, but yeah, I think my point was that, I mean, even if there's a drop that doesn't seem that big, use that info to help you be like, why are they dropping this? Because usually there's another little reason. And I mean, hey, we all like to do conspiracies and talk about like the speculation on here and everything else with VV. So why not like add that fun to it to hey, tell me what you think. What do you guys think? What did I miss? What did I forget that they've been hinting at us like in the app and we still don't have? Because that's like could be an interesting play, especially when you want to speculate and find a cheap deal down the line when the app is overcrowded and you can only find so many different deals. Because there's going to eventually be that time when there may not be like as many drops to satisfy the amount of users. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be where, hey, for a while a lot of different drops aren't going to sell out because there's just been so many drops, and it's just a supply and demand thing at the end, and you have to go with your gut. And I think for now, investing in the A's and B tiers and the Grails and Silver Age stuff, you can't go wrong. But the speculation still is fun. So yeah, this isn't financial advice. This was mainly a speculative video. It was mainly to look at kind of the fun different things VV has hinted at us with Marvel, because Marvel is telling them, hey, drop this, drop that, or maybe VV's deciding, and maybe it's just their way of saying, hey, we know stuff you don't, and here, we're gonna drop this comic. But either way, it's fun to think about. Like, subscribe, you know the deal. Peace. Take care, guys. Y'all enjoy your work week.